fired. We're getting fired. We are getting fired. Look how empty it is. They said, fuck it. We're already fired. Let's leave now. Only the black people that need their hours is still here. Oh, there's one white girl in the back. She needs her money. Let's see who else. Oh, Ghost Town. Oh, look, there's Color Girl. One more. And we're fucked. Oh, we're getting fired. We're getting fired. We are getting fired. Look how empty it is. They said, fuck it. We're already fired. Let's leave now. Only the black people that need their hours is still here. Oh, there's one white girl in the back. She needs her money. Let's see who else. Oh, Ghost Town. Oh, look, there's Color Girl. One more. And we're fucked.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to us younger brothers. And peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful elect out there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bashem Al Shah, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners, whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Al Shah. All right, and what I want to get into today is dealing with the book of Isaiah, chapter 36 and verse 6. Okay, now you seen from that video, all right, you had Eve, and some more Eves, and I guess in this AT&T call center, and they're being replaced by AI. All right, and what we're seeing, is this devil, as he's ushering in his AI, all right, that people are becoming more, all right, expendable. Okay, especially, people that work at these low-skilled jobs. Okay, they're going to be the first to go. And who are the people that work at most of these low-skilled jobs is the tribes. All right, and mainly Eve. Mainly Eve. Okay, which this is, the serpent throwing away his weapon. He used, the nigger woman, to destroy, okay, and turn the nation of Israel to degenerates. Okay, for the sake of the perks that came with, being a woman in this society. Okay, the safety nets that the devil has given women. Okay, well now, as he turned Eve to a weapon to destroy herself and her nation, now he's done with that weapon. It's accomplished what it needed to accomplish. Because you look at the NBA YoungBoy concert, well, that's the results of the woman weaponized. So she's no more needed. This generation is finished. This generation of children that's coming up, it's over. Okay, Jake is in self-destruct mode. So the woman is not even needed like that. Okay, so what you're seeing now, all right, is AI, beginning to replace these low-skilled jobs, and it's only going to increase. It only gets worse. And I guess all, the Edomite women that worked there, because she said it was only Eve that was left, because most of those Edomites, just from even my experience, in the workforce, most of those Edomite women, they be having those husbands that make, good money. They money just be extra income, for the most part. Now, Edomites are catching hell, but you do have those Edomite women that be at work and, their husband be straight. So, Eve single, destitute. Okay. The beginning of sorrows, man, it only get worse. Okay. Isaiah 36 and 6, it says, "Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed." Okay. Which is this broken system. All right. On Egypt of America, man. Okay. No one has been more dependent on the system of America than the nigger woman. Okay, no single group of people have been more dependent on this system all right, than the nigga woman, man. Okay? Wherein if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him. And ultimately, that's the chip. Okay? Because now, because you go to this same video, okay, you look at the first comment on the video, they're complaining. It said AI is only going to get better. All right. This is from UBI Works, which stands for Universal Basic Income. It says, this is why we need UBI to support workers and as an AI dividend. Okay. Subscribe for more. We're Canada's largest community of UBI advocates, man. Universal Basic Income, which, okay, to receive that, what you think you're going to have to have. You're going to have that device. You know, they might start it out at direct deposits or however, but eventually to keep that going, you're going to have that device. Okay, and the way that the devil plans to depopulate, all right, the majority ain't going to be around for no UBI. Okay, but just shows you what they're trending towards. Okay, as it says, so is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him. You see, and everyone that trusts in him, all right, they're being led to this chip, this device. Okay, because UBI will be a salvation for them right now. They would take that today. All right, Juanita, you know, Tranisha, all they would take that today, right now, in the situation they in, and them just, you know, being fired and losing their job. They're ready to take that now. Okay, so how much more as things get you know, tighter? Okay, more chaotic. You see? So this devil is setting the stage up, man, and people trust, you know, on this fragile system. All right, this American economy, which is a debt-based system. Okay, a scam. Okay, and when you go here, I asked it what would Isaiah 36:6 look like today. Okay, it says if we imagine this verse in today's settings, it could look like political dependence. Okay, political dependence, a small nation relying on a powerful but unstable ally, only to find that ally cannot actually protect them, dependent on a corrupt superpower that abandons them when war breaks out. And see what's happening. All right, the things that Esau used to prop up are being abandoned now. The middle class is being abandoned. Okay, the nigga woman being abandoned. You see? The things that the devil, you know, wants, you know, poured money into and, okay, propped up, you know, for his purpose. Okay, well, now these things are being abandoned because he's on to something else, man. Okay, economic dependence. A country putting all its hope in a country, you know, which you look at, you know, an ethnic group, you know, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. You know, you can liken it to a country, you know, an ethnic group. It says a country putting all its hope in another nation's financial aid or loans, but those loans come with crushing debt that hurts more than it helps. Okay? So as people, you know, trust in this economy being up and functioning, all right, the job market, you know, people depend on that being up and functioning. These things are shrinking. The money is devaluing and the job market is shrinking. Okay? It's shrinking. You see? So people are just going to be in more straits. It only gets worse. All right. It says social tech analogy. It says depending on something flashy but hollow, like trusting in a failing social media platform, a hyped up cryptocurrency, or an AI company which promises strength but collapses under pressure, leaving the person worse off, man. You know, you have people that just make a living based off social media. So imagine when, okay, the lights go out. Okay, imagine when they cut, you know, you have to have your digital ID to get on. Okay, you can't speak about this, you can't speak about that, which is the IDF that's pretty much taking over TikTok, you know, is in the process of doing that. So imagine when these certain platforms, people, all right, because when they were talking about banning TikTok, man, people was crying, talking about this my livelihood. You know, I just bought this and I just bought that. Okay, so people rely on this fragile system. They show you all the time that the system is fragile, man. Okay, all the time they show that this system is fragile, and people still lean on it, man. But it's gonna lead to them leaning into their chip. Okay, so when you let's go back to some precepts. Okay, because the trust in Egypt is gonna be the confusion. Okay, for a lot of people. Let's go to Isaiah 30. Okay, Isaiah 31 says, "Woe to the rebellious children." All right, because Jake is in full rebellion. You see, they rebel against, Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. Okay, but they comply with this devil. They depend on this devil. Okay, it said, "Woe to the rebellious children," said the Lord, "that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with the covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin." Okay, and as our people are constantly in rebellion, they ignore the prophets. Okay, and they try to, make a way. Okay, in this world, all they do is add sin to sin. They become worse. They become more degenerate. They become more rebellious. Okay, as they try to establish themselves in some form or some fashion in this world. Okay, because America is they end all be all. Okay, verse 2 said they walked to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt, which our people are not inquiring of the prophets. Okay, they're still, groping in the noondays, the scriptures say, trying to figure it out in Babylon. All right, trying to make America work in their favor, man. A failing system. Okay, the system is done, it's over. Okay, and it says, "And trust in the shadow, okay, or the protection, okay, of Egypt. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in Egypt, all right, in the shadow of Egypt, all right, your confusion." Okay, so we're just gonna see Jake lose, man. We're gonna see our people lose, man, trusting in this place. All right, you got Jake that think Trump is gonna, turn this thing around and take America back to the glory days. You got Jake even saying, "See, we gotta suffer a little bit first, and then it's gonna get greater later." Man, shut your ass up, man. You don't know how nothing works. Okay, nigga learned about tariffs a month and a half ago. Now nigga expert. Okay, this place is done. This is a controlled demolition. Okay, America's been intentionally weakened. All right, to make way for a new world order, man. Okay, and it's gonna be a lot of civil unrest, okay, and chaos, okay, before this devil, makes this sea hill mandatory, man. Okay, so going from there, because you go down, there's some spirits in the same chapter, Isaiah 30:8. It says, "Now go, write it before them in a table, and note it in a book, that it may be for the time to come, forever and ever, that this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that would not hear the law of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, would say to the seer, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits." Okay, because those same, uh, uh, women, those same, all right, room of women. Okay, if you tried to bring them the gospel, they would rebel against it. Okay, you trying to bring them the gospel in their moment, they will rebel against it, man. And that's the majority of our people. They rebel against the gospel. Okay, but they depend on the lies of Esau Edom. They have hope in this in the lies, all right, of Edom, Esau, man, the so-called white man. You see? And we see where it's leading them to. Verse 11, it said, get you out of the way, turn aside out of the path, cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us, man. Jake don't want nothing to do with the Lord, man. Nothing to do with righteousness. Okay? Jake don't want to talk about no kingdom. You think those, all right, like you go talk to them about the kingdom. No, they worry about the right now, the circumstances now, how to better, how to figure it out in Babylon. Okay? The nigga, all right, our people, okay, the nigga and the nigga woman, you see, they have a mind like Edomite. Okay, they don't want the throne of David to be established. No, they want to try to figure this thing out now. They want to try to correct this system, improve this current system, which is anti-Messiah, man. Okay, said, wherefore thus said the Holy One of Israel, because you despise this word and trust in oppression and perverseness and stay their own, all right, because you trust in oppression, okay, you stay their own, you depend, all right, on the system that oppresses your ass, okay. Therefore, this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking coming suddenly at an instant, man. And it's just going to keep getting worse and worse. At the drop of a dime, it's just going to keep getting worse, man. Okay? Just like this little situation, instantly they was out of a job. Okay? And there's just going to be multiple things constantly happening in this society. It's going to be at an instant, man. It's going to have a major impact. Okay? On this society, man. Things going to be happening instantly, man. You know? You're going to be out there. You see? So, yeah, just wanted to get into that, man. You know, and like I said, it only gets worse. You know, this is just the beginning phase. Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you sisters edified. Till next time, I say shalom.